Babe, what are you doing?
Filling up the concrete saw.
For what?
If it'll cut concrete, it'll cut the metal on the van.
I don't think so.
Definitely.
I mean, it might, but I think that's a little overkill.
Overkill's underrated. Hey everyone, we're back again with another van build video. Today we'll be installing our windows. We had originally anticipated someone else putting them in for us because it's a bit intimidating, but apparently no one really does that around here, so I guess we'll be doing it ourselves. Here goes nothing. Now that we have the windows cut out, we're going to be vacuuming up all the little scrap pieces of metal and debris that fell out on the floor. That way we don't have any rust problems in the future. That's why we decided to install the windows before we actually did the floor system, as we didn't want any rust up under our floor. Alright, the window trim is in. Now it's time to wipe everything down with some acetone, and then we'll put the adhesive on to fasten the windows.
Currently making our template for the passenger sliding door window. We got a CR Laurence. It's a T-vent window. Here's the back side of it.
It's day 2 of our window installation. We're about to get rolling on this sliding door. We have our template up and we're ready to go. Yesterday we made quite a few mistakes, so hopefully we'll do a little bit better today.
Yesterday we spent a lot of time cleaning up those little pieces of metal shavings. So today we have decided to put plastic over everything to try to make cleanup a little bit easier.
Alright, it's day 3, hopefully our final day of the window installation, and we're ready to get started. Let's get it. Thanks so much for joining us in today's video. Believe it or not, the easiest way is not to cut your windows in with a concrete saw or a chainsaw. Really, the easiest way for us was using a jigsaw with a fine-tooth blade. We did break a lot of blades, and the more jagged tooth blades did withstand the cutting better because you're going through, at some points, multiple layers of metal. But the fine tooth was a lot less work in the end. We had to use our Dremel to smooth down all of the rough edges from the larger teeth. So I would highly recommend using a small tooth blade with your jigsaw. And also, when you're cutting, we started with the back windows, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the way we should do it from the inside. And then that was a nightmare. If we had to redo it, I would do it from the outside, and I was just like so nervous to start. I started drilling pilot holes that were huge right up against the edge, and then that made for like crazy little indentions that the trim just barely hid, so I would not do that. And you want to take a smaller drill bit and accentuate the corners of the rear windows especially. Well, I guess any of the windows. That way you know where everything is, and then you can mark out the full square from the outside. And definitely, next time I would cut from the outside 100%, just because I really really scuffed up the inside with the jigsaw when we did it originally. So Mickey, if you're watching this, man, we need you to fix some scratches for us, because we don't know what we're doing.
And also order in advance all the windows, because they took quite a bit of time to actually get here. And we received, I think, the back windows first, and we were waiting on the like camper, that little side window that we put in at the very end. That was the last window to get in. So it's really, if you can order as much time as in advance as possible, it would be ideal.
And just to follow up with that, I would recommend ordering everything in advance, because so many different aspects of the van build took so long to get in. And we were lucky that we ordered certain things when we did. I don't know if you know, but there is a pandemic going on, and
yeah, the lead times are like crazy now.
Yeah, so
even
crazy.
From when we originally ordered, from now things have doubled. Like we had a 7-week lead time on a toilet. It's now, we looked the other day, it was a 14-week lead time. So just make sure you are ordering in advance.
Absolutely. Another tip would be, when you're cutting with your jigsaw, make sure that you have the, I guess it's called the guide plate, locked in square at like a 90-degree angle. Ours wasn't locked in, and so I was making these like crazy angled cuts, and it really, from the inside out, the way that it was angled, it was making the cuts like more wide on the outside than on the inside. So make sure that's locked in and it's nice and square, because we'll save you some time, frustration, and a lot of worry in the end.
Yeah, because the windowsill, when we put in the windowsill, like it was really hard to get on those wider parts on the outside than it was the inside. So it was like a real booger to like really mash in there and pinch down so it would stay.
Back to the time and frustration, we didn't record that part because I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to buy new doors. I just screwed this up so bad. But it all ended up working out. They haven't leaked, so I guess
we're good. The total cost for the windows, it was all 4 windows, the primer and the adhesive that goes around and that seals the window, the actual window seal, the paint and primer that we purchased, and like the painter's tape and everything came into a total of $1,353.96.
Do all of the YouTube stuff. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. If you have any questions or feedback for our videos, drop it in the comments. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're Ben and Jelaine with Nomadic Visuals, and we'll see you in the next one.